Well, looky here. This little lathe followed me home today. Looks like she needs a good home. I'll finally have a quick change and power cross feed. I may be missing something that goes in there. I'll have to go back and check. We got that drum switch on here. We'll be getting rid of that. Not good to have a reversing motor on a lathe with a threaded spindle. The man I purchased it from already cleaned up the tailstock. Got our counter shaft here and motor mount. And we'll need to do a little brazing at some point. Or I may just buy another gear guard, I don't know. We shall see. Haven't seen any broken gears, though I haven't been inside the gearbox yet. This is froze up, this is froze up. This is all froze up. You know, that moves. Yep, she's gonna need some work. But despite the rust, I don't see any major wear on these ways. So we should be able to get those to clean up. And under here, I was looking and see if it'll focus. Yep, war production machine. So, got a nice little World War II vintage South Bend here. Believe this is a 9A model, because if I recall correctly, the 9A had both the quick change gearbox and the power cross feed and everything in the apron here. But I may, I may end up finding out that this was added later. I don't really think it was, but it might have been. And so this might be actually a 9B that's been upgraded based on what I know about these. Hey, you know, it's handy too. I have under my Atlas over here that came with this Atlas, I actually have a follower rest for this lathe, which is rather nice. I believe the steady I have actually too might have been made for a South Bend, but it doesn't have a notch in it. But I know it's not an Atlas steady, so if anybody can identify, maybe it's a Logan steady, I don't know. But if anybody can identify what that steady was really for, it works. I use it. Now, I may set it up so I can use it on this. Put it on either lathe. So it looks like we got our work cut out for us. I'm gonna start tearing down the machine soon, and got to get some parts in the dip. I think I may start with the apron and carriage assembly, but we'll see. I am anxious to get into this quick change here, so. Yeah, I think that's probably original. So we got a 9A. Oh, and we have our roller bearing headstock. It's gummed up right now. Unfortunately, that moves. Looks like it was already set up in back gear. Probably was in back gear the last time it was getting used. Because if I can engage it. Come on, you. There we go. Ooh, yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's gonna need some work. Yeah, I'll be ditching this drum switch too. You know, I always did want a south bend. And the beauty is it'll fit. The tooling from my Atlas over here will all fit the south bend. So this lathe didn't come with any tooling, but I got it at a hell of a steel type price, you know. The gearbox alone in its condition is worth what I paid for the lathe. So that was one I jumped on. Here's the massive 1-horse Craftsman motor I was given with it. I think this is too big for this lathe, so I'm not going to use it on this lathe. I have another project in mind I might use that for. And we'll put something on this lathe that's more appropriate. I'll have to look around for a nice older 3rd-horse motor. Well, the new restoration project, and I'll keep y'all posted as to how this comes along. I'm going to make this machine look like that machine, or my pretty little drill press over there, so that they all match. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Well, I just started getting some stuff taken off. Got the gear guards off. I haven't found any broken teeth, so that's good. Let's see here. Yeah, she's looking good so far. And I put a little oil on the plate here so I could clean it up a little bit, make it out. And there we go. She is indeed a Model A. So that's nice. Got these screws loose here that hold the apron on. Got these 2 screws loose. Man, those were stuck in there. But despite the rest, I think that this is, this is all going to come out pretty nicely. If I'm able to get screws out like this, I put a little oil on them and let it soak for a couple minutes, And yeah, things are coming apart and starting to loosen up, All she needs is a little love. That's all. A little tender loving care. And that is smooth. Look at that. Can't do that on my Atlas. Alright. When working on a precision machined surface and cleaning it up, one of the best ways that I've found is to take a razor blade and just come along, and you can knock the majority of that gunk off of there, And you see I've already scraped up here. That's pretty clean, Did a little down here. Right now I'm just working screws loose. And I found a nasty little surprise in my apron. You might notice a couple things missing. At least we know where this one is. Yep. This one's nowhere to be found, so we're going to have to make one, or we're going to have to buy one. Depending on how expensive that gear is. Everything else seems to be there, though. Yep. Got these loose now, so they move. They were frozen in place. Still haven't gotten the gearbox off yet, so we're hoping we don't find any nasties in there. Spindle's freeing up, though. Things are starting to free up, I was able to turn this lead screw actually a little bit earlier. I've just been dumping oil in all the oil cups and getting things, worked out. You can see that's been taken off now, so that's free. took the bar off the back too, and look at all that swarf that was trapped up in there from, you know, God knows when. Maybe some of that's been in there still since World War II, you know. Interestingly enough, tag down here, cleaned it up a little bit, states that this machine conforms to the orders of the War Production Board. So, I'm not sure if you'll be able to read that on the video, but that's what it says. Yeah. You know, we got our serial number down here. Let's see here. There. So, we'll probably pay the $25 and get our information and find out just where this lathe spent the early part of its life. Maybe find out kind of what parts it made. You know, maybe it was on a ship, who knows? We shall see. You know, these little South Bend lathes, and also these Atlas lathes were lathes that really won World War II. Tons of production was put out on these. Yeah, sorry the video cut out there for a moment, but anyhow, yeah, tons of production was made on these little light lathes during the war. We've got our compound freed up now. It's still not sliding, so we'll get all that apart, you know. This had Allen head set screws in it, and I don't think that was original. I think that these had originally the little square head set screws like I've got on my Atlas machine over here. So I'll probably end up replacing those. I've got a source for those at my local old-time hardware store. Probably have to make a new handle, or maybe buy one. Or maybe some nice person out there will be kind enough that has one of these junker lathes to donate one to the cause of bringing this machine back. And boy, this machine actually, you know, if I didn't buy it, it narrowly escaped actually being parted out. The guy had already had calls. One guy wanting the gearbox, offering $200 just for the gearbox. Another guy wanted the you know, the carriage and the apron. Another guy wanted the tailstock, and somebody else wanted the headstock. The guy knew. The man that I purchased this from knew what he had. But, you know, good person that he was, he knew that it's better that the machine stay together and go into somebody's hands, such as myself, you know, who's going to give it some care and bring it back to life here. So,